friends, Kaz Magpie's YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about the players that's under the most pressure for all the 18 clubs. Now, one player from each team. Well, one player I'm definitely going to say in the Adelaide Crows is, I have to say, it's Matt Crouch. His brother left, and I could easily say Taylor Walker, but because his brother left to go to join St Kilda, what would happen with Matt Crouch now? Is he the next one that's going to be out of the joint, or can he perform at the highest level consistently to try and get his, averaging more than 26 possessions per game? If he can do that, I think it goes a long way for Adelaide to help into development. How many games will he play? The same thing with Taylor Walker, I could say, but I'm picking up Matt Crouch because it's one player per team. That's how I've got it set up. And now we're going to the Brisbane Lions. So this one's an obvious answer for me. It's Joe Danaher. Now, I know what you're going to be thinking. You'll be thinking, why would you pick Joe Danaher? Well, there's clear obvious reasons why I pick him. He's got the talent, and I know he's an All-Australian back in 2017. But to be honest, there's a couple of key questions in that video, in this video, that I wouldn't mind asking. Is how many games is he going to play? Is his groins and is he OPs and that are good? Can he get his body up to the same level as he did back in 2017 before the injuries? And can he kick a decent amount of goals compared to what he did back in last year and obviously the couple of years beforehand? I think because it is a key issue with him, I hope he does do well for Brisbane's sake, but I just got my doubts. If he can perform, to me that is a tick. If he plays 18, 20 games, whatever how many games he can play, without getting injured and play at that consistent level, that is a massive tick. How I see it. Now Carlton, man, what can I say? I could have gone with Adam Sard, or I could go with Zach Williams. It's either the two. I'm going to say Zach Williams. Now, Zach Williams is a wonderful player for GWS. They haven't been in good form, especially a team that made the grand final before 2020. Back in 2019, they were firing. Zach Williams played more than midfielder. He was at the halfback flank. Can Zach Williams play like he did from the 2019 prelim throughout the season? I think he can do it, but he has to wanting to perform at a consistent level, especially trying to push some of these senior players that are more experienced than him, like Mark Murphy's out on the wing, and then at least try and play consistent footy as well. So if he can do that, I think it goes a long way for Carlton to win a lot of games and to play finals. Collingwood. Well, what can I say? There's so many to pick from. I'm going to go with Jordan De Goey. Now, the reason why I say him, because of his injuries, the off-field stuff, can he play at a consistent level in the midfield and forward? Can he play both of us? Now, he did well in the pre-season. He hasn't played a practice match against Geelong, but can he get his body right to play every single week and to be and play well as a midfielder / forward in that role? Because he wants to play more midfield time, and he's so damaging up forward. So if he can play a consistent level playing that role, I think it does go a long way for us to be top 4, but also to be a premiership contender. Now, Essendon, there's not many that you could give it to that could be under pressure. I'm going to say Zach Merritt. The reasons behind that is, can he play? There talks out that he might be next to leave. His contract is up for next year. Will Essendon give him that contract, or will he choose to leave Essendon if they don't perform well? So I think Zach Merritt is a wonderful player, but I think for me, he has to step up again and play that crucial role. Once he does that, I think it goes a long way for Essendon to no doubt win games, but I don't think they'll play finals. That's how I see it, but the only one that I reckon it could be would be him in particular. So now Fremantle. Now, I'm gonna say Matthew Taberner. Can he develop his game and play forward? Can he produce one of his best footies? Now, I could say some of the younger ones like Luke Ryan, but I think with Matthew Taberner, he's been there for a while. I think it's time for him to step up and play a lot of footy as well. So if he can do that, I think it'll be good. Next, we got the Gold Coast Suns. No, not Gold Coast Suns, Geelong. Now, Geelong for me, I'm going to say Jeremy Cameron. So we got Geelong, then we got Gold Coast next. So I'm going to say for Geelong, it is Jeremy Cameron. The reason why I say that, because it's so easy, crucial. Now, Geelong got Sean Higgins, they got Isaac Smith. Jeremy Cameron, I think, is 27. Now, I know he's played really good footy for GWS, but last year slowed him down. I don't know if it's because of that when he got done for striking that Brisbane Lions player, that might have slowed him down. But I don't know if he's got that in him to play on that edge. I think once he does, I think that will go a long way, personally, to see that maybe a win for Geelong. If he can kick about 40, 50 goals, or even more, I think it does not matter too much. It may not matter too much, but I think he can do the job and kick that many goals for the Cats. How can you handle playing with Tom Hawkins? I think that's why you got to start playing these practice matches, playing in a March match to see how these guys go and see how they perform. The Gold Coast Suns, then that's a tough one in my opinion, because there's so many. There's so many. Matt Morrell, I'm going to say, is under pressure. Now, his first year, he played 3 games, he got injured, unfortunately. My question's not on the shoulder, on how I think he'll do well after his injury, but how can he handle a second year Blues? Can he keep up and play at that level? Because he realistically, the first year was he missed out the shoulder for 12 months, but can he play at that highest level and develop his game even more for the Gold Coast Suns and help them take the next step? I think he can do it, but we need to see it, because first year players, when they come into the second year, it can be a bit difficult. So that's why I'm thinking it might take him a few games. You want to see him up and about playing and playing like in the preseason games and all the rest, so you know and you can see on what he's capable of. Now, GWS, I'm going to say Jesse Hogan. He came from Melbourne, looked really potential until injuries just killed him. Went to Fremantle and had the same thing, just the injuries and his body couldn't handle it. But can he be the one that can help that GWS forward line? And I don't think he can do it. I think his body is shocked. Yeah, it's completely shocked that I don't think that he can play at the highest level. So if he can do that, I think if he can perform well, I think that will matter. I think he can surprise a few of us, including myself, to say, mate, I'm here, I want to play AFL football. Other than that, I'm not 100% sure if he can do it. So until we know more, I think that's about it for GWS. Now we got the Hawthorn Football Club. Now, from my opinion, and this is just my opinion, guys, the one that's probably most under the pump, I would say, is probably Sicily. Now, James Sicily is a good player. He's had injuries. Didn't have the year. Can he step up this year and have a really good season and actually show why he's a really good defender across the half-back line for the Hawks? If he can do that, I think that goes a long way for Hawthorn to actually start winning more games of footy. Now, Melbourne Football Club. Now, this one I'm going to say this. Stephen Mayne. Can he play well as a fullback in that fullback line? Can he produce and play really well? If he can do that for Melbourne and stop the other teams from taking those marks, I think it will go a long way for Melbourne to help win defensively. I could say Ben Brown, but he's had a pretty good few years, and I think that Ben Brown, I kept Ben Brown off for this reason, because I know that he can develop and play well. And if he doesn't, he'll be under pressure, and I think he knows that. The footy world knows that. For Melbourne. Now, North Melbourne, I'm going to say Jaden Stevenson. I think when you haven't had a good year, 2019, he played really well, I think, for the first 10 games before. he played well until he got done for that betting scandal. Missed 10 weeks, looked really good playing in the VFL, and then played in the AFL first final. I think if he can perform and play in that midfield and kick a couple goals, I think it will look good. He is under pressure, and I think that's the reason why you have to say that he is under the most pressure for North Melbourne, because the situation that happened at Collingwood, he got, unfortunately had to go, and that's how it is. Now, Port Adelaide, and there's not many around that I could probably pick, but Orazio Fantasia, can he play really well in Port Adelaide's forward line and really, put the heat on the opposition players and actually start tackling? He struggled at Essendon. That's to say, he hasn't had a good couple of years at Essendon. He wanted out back in the end of 2019. That didn't happen. Same thing with Danaher, who wanted out to Sydney Swans, and that didn't happen. So they held on to him. And then the list manager played hardball and made it really difficult. As much as I hate to say it, I just don't know with Orazio Fantasia if he can perform well for the Port Adelaide Football Club. If we can keep producing that, I think it'll go a long way for him as well. Now, the Richmond Football Club. Now, this is a team that I've got respect for. Tom Lynch. I could say Jack River, but I'm going to say Tom Lynch. Can he play well? At 2020 he did struggle. He never played this way when he started at Richmond at 2019. Did have a little bit of a temper problems as well. That didn't help the situation. And I think with the way that that's happened, can he play his best footy and keep that hunger, desire to wanting to play more and win one more flag for Richmond? He is crucial in their forward line, and I think that's the reason why that you have to say that you want to see more. So he's not under a lot of pressure, but he's under that fair bit of pressure that you think that maybe he needs to develop more and keep that hunger going. Now, St Kilda, I'm going to say Jack Higgins. Now, he probably didn't get much game time in 2020 as in playing wise, but I think if he can show St Kilda something in that forward pocket playing, put the pressure on and play like he did back in 2018, I think that will go a long way for St Kilda to actually take the next step and be as a top 6, top 5 team in the competition. Once he does that, I think it will go a long way for St Kilda to keep that improvement up. And now for Sydney Swans, I'm going to say Buddy Franklin. Can he actually get out in the park? That's the question that you're always having as a fan. I think he might, but I don't know if we're going to see the best of Buddy Franklin. I think that might be it. I think in the next couple of years, once he retires, is that going to be it for Bud? Because he can't get out of the park. He's so injury prone. It hurts me to say it because I do like watching Buddy Franklin play, but let's be honest, he hasn't been a clean skin at all throughout, that time at Sydney, especially down Hawthorn. He's been involved in off-field incidents, and even when he had a crash in Sydney and there's been in-house fighting, you hear those type of rumours because, he's on a big contract. But he needs to get on the track and play AFL football and actually start, showing us why he's that damn good, because I know he is, but he just needs to get out on the park to do it. For the West Coast Eagles, I'm going to say Tim Carley. It is harder for him because he did come over to Geelong. The midfield did look a little bit stuck, and I think that could be the problem, the reason why that West Coast did struggle in hubs. And when they did have that dominant stretch at home until they had to go back in the hub again, can he continue to take the next step? Because he's a very good player. He's very good at finishing off with a goal, and he can use the ball really well. That would be my only question mark with him. Other than that, I think I've got a lot of respect for him. And the last team, the Western Bulldogs, and I'm going to say, sorry Adam Troll, but I'm going to have to say you. You are under pressure because you are carrying most of the load with your contract, and you haven't had a good year back in 2020. You started off pre-season with injuries. You did your hamstring. You had your calves and all that. So you are a little bit injury prone. You got injured again at the Western Bulldogs during the match simulation, so he hasn't been able to play. May look like he may not play round one. He was unfortunate that we had to get rid of him. He didn't take it on the chin really well. Some players are known to have hold grudges and come out and speak publicly and all that sort of stuff. But I just think he needs to worry about, okay, how can I impress my new teammates? How can I perform well? He's not the best ball user at all. He's not very good at kicking. He misses targets. He's happy to get 38, 39 possessions and maybe not be as damaging as that. And I think because the Western Bulldogs, to be honest, I see them only just making finals or maybe missing out because of the stacked midfield. It might push Montepelli forward, it might push Dunkley out of that midfield. And to be honest, you don't want to upset that core, that those experienced players that play together. How can he play with his teammates? Do they know what to do with him and how they play with him? Which will also, I think that's many questions that have to be asked. But other than that, I think it's going to be outright ugly for the Western Bulldogs, I think, in my opinion. Now, please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to the channel and you like these sort of videos, give me some feedback, give me a like. Please subscribe. And if you're returning Magpies, please like, comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really do appreciate this. Until next time, calm the Pies. We're coming for a premiership. Bye.